Renewable energy, the moral obligation to future generations, and the ethics of sustainability. Renewable energy, harnessing power from sunlight, wind, water, and geothermal heat, has emerged as a critical solution to climate change and fossil fuel dependency. Beyond its technical and environmental implications, the shift to renewables raises profound ethical questions about intergenerational justice, global equity, and humanity's relationship with the natural world. How do we balance the urgent need for clean energy with the moral complexities of its implementation? Number 1. The imperative for renewable energy. The scientific consensus is clear. Transitioning from fossil fuels to renewables is essential to mitigate climate change, reduce pollution, and preserve ecosystems. Yet this transition is not just a technical challenge, it's a moral one. Climate debt. Fossil fuel consumption has disproportionately benefited wealthy nations while imposing environmental costs on vulnerable communities and future generations. Renewable energy offers a path to rectify this imbalance. Energy equity. Over 700 million people lack access to electricity. Renewables could democratize energy access, but only if deployed equitably. 2. Ethical dilemmas in the renewable transition. While renewable energy is often framed as an unambiguous good, its adoption involves ethical trade-offs. Land use and ecology. Large-scale solar farms and wind turbines can disrupt ecosystems, displace wildlife, or encroach on indigenous lands. For example, hydropower dams have displaced communities and destroyed habitats. How do we weigh clean energy goals against ecological and social harm? Resource extraction. Renewables rely on rare earth metals, e.g. lithium, cobalt, for batteries and infrastructure. Mining these materials often exploits labor, damages environments, and perpetuates colonial resource extraction. Are we replacing one form of exploitation with another? Intergenerational justice. Transitioning to renewables requires upfront investments, financial, labor resources, whose benefits will primarily accrue to future generations. Do current generations have a moral duty to bear these costs? Number 3. Philosophical perspectives on energy and progress. Renewable energy challenges us to redefine progress and humanity's role in nature. Stewardship versus domination. Philosopher Aldo Leopold argued for a land ethic that views humans as members of a biotic community, not conquerors of nature. Renewable energy aligns with this ethic only if it prioritizes harmony with ecosystems, not just efficiency. The ethics of consumption. Even clean energy enables overconsumption. Ivan Illich critiqued industrial societies for equating energy use with prosperity. Should renewables be paired with degrowth principles to reduce overall demand? Techno-optimism versus humility. While renewables promise a sustainable future, philosopher Hans Jonas warned that technological fixes can breed complacency. Are we relying too much on innovation and too little on behavioral change? 4. Global equity and the renewable divide. The benefits and burdens of renewable energy are unevenly distributed. Green colonialism. Wealthy nations often install renewables in developing countries to offset their own emissions, sometimes disregarding local needs. For instance, European wind farms in North Africa export energy to Europe, while locals face energy poverty. Just transition. Workers in fossil fuel industries, coal miners, oil rig workers, risk displacement. A moral transition must include retraining programs and economic reparations. Climate reparations. Nations historically responsible for emissions have a moral duty to fund renewable infrastructure in vulnerable regions. Philosopher Henry Shue argues this is a matter of justice, not charity. Number 5. The role of individuals and institutions. Individual responsibility. Should individuals adopt renewables, e.g. rooftop solar, even when inconvenient or costly? Or is systemic change the only ethical path? Corporate accountability. Tech giants and fossil fuel companies now champion renewables, but is this genuine responsibility or greenwashing? Policy and governance. Governments must balance subsidies for renewables with protections for marginalized groups. How can policies reflect both urgency and equity? 6. Conclusion. Renewable energy as a moral project. Renewable energy is not just a technical transition, but a moral reckoning. It demands that we center justice, ensure the benefits of clean energy reach those most harmed by fossil fuels, respect ecological limits, deploy renewables in ways that honor, not exploit, natural systems. Embrace intergenerational solidarity. Act today to secure a livable planet for future generations. In the words of Joanna Macy, environmental philosopher, the energy we need will not come from fossil fuels, but from reconnecting with our moral and spiritual power. Renewable energy at its best is not just about swapping coal for solar panels. It's about reimagining humanity's place in a web of life we are bound to protect.